Yo, you know what it is. This one here is about one of those, but I love a dog, characters. You know what I mean? I don't like those dudes. I'm gonna just keep it 100. I don't like them dudes, but I love a dog. But anyway, enjoy the intro, man. You know what it is. Unique Mecca audio, man. I'm going to tell you about one of my lover dog ass clips, man. All right, here we go. Now, I'm in Allenwood. I just come out of ADX. This is 1999. I just come out of ADX, Supermax, up there where, El Chapo and all of that. Pistol Pete, free all the big homies, Larry Hoover, King Blood, you know what I mean? Now, I just come out this joint. So I get to the compound. I did my little 5 years in Supermax, and they had TVs in the cell where they had a channel. It was like channel 3, because these was them old TVs that you turn the knobs, and one knob said, what I think, UHF or something like that. Yeah, UHF, and the other one was the regular channels, So we had that joint up there, and it was crazy the way that whole thing was played out, Now, we sitting there, and I took all the classes they had to offer. That's where I learned to read and write at. They had GD that you're supposed to take on the TV, but they only put it on an hour a day so they could put other programs on throughout the day. But I really started enjoying learning how to read. So what I did was I put in a cop out to the warden. When the warden came walking by, I said, look, man, I'm 30 years old. I came in at 29. I can't read or write, and I want to better myself because I told my judge that I wanted him to send me someplace so I could further my education in case something come down the pike later on. I could go home a better man and a better citizen. He said, okay, so what can I do for you? I said, well, I'm taking these classes. I'm taking these classes that y'all got to offer on the GED. And I'm really liking it, but you're only doing it for an hour, so it can't really do nothing for me. I need you to leave it on so that I can watch it when I want to watch it, and in case I might want to watch it 2 or 3 times. I'm not the smartest apple in the bunch. You know what I mean? I don't even know my ABCs, but I tell you one thing. Bring me a gram of Coke, and I'll break it down for you by every 10th of a line and let you know how much you'll make out of a whole kilo, which is 1,000 grams. You understand? I'll even tell you how much, 125 grams broken down cost. That's an eighth of a Coke. That means it's 125 grams in a key, or, a quarter key, meaning it's 4 quarters in the key. He said, all right, and he started laughing, you know what I mean? So he said, all right, I'm going to put it up there for you. I see you like to learn. You don't learn how to play with dope now. You want to learn your ABC. So me and him used to laugh every time I used to come around. He'll call me, alphabet man. You know what I mean? Because I was always studying my alphabets when he came through. So now, they got this joint over there. And I'm studying my GED, I'm doing my thing, and, as I'm studying the GED, I start taking different classes, criminal thinking to find out why I think like a criminal, you know what I mean? Anger management, why I got mad and wanted to blow somebody's face off, you know what I mean? So I took all the classes they had to offer, and over the little 5 years, it added up to like over 50 certificates and awards that I got over the 5 years while I was in there. So when I leave there, and let me tell you how I left there. Let me give you a little history on that. Before ADX, it was Marion, in Illinois. Marion was the Supermax. That was considered like, how they got Pelican Bay and all that, So when they opened up ADX, they moved all the people that couldn't get out of Marion because they was too violent and wasn't listening to ADX, and then they sent me there with these brothers. So these are brothers that couldn't listen, that been in Marion for over a decade already, that I got around, which was the best thing that ever happened to me doing my bid, because they the ones that, influenced me and told me, get your GED, blah, 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 because in order to get out of here, you got to work in a unicorn factory, and if you go in a unicorn factory, you don't have your GED, they give you $5 a month, but if you got your GED, they give you $200 a month. And big incentive, $200 a month government money, and I got to be over there anyway. I took it. So now I went ahead and I did my thing. So these brothers teaching me, how to bid. So I get all these programs, and then Washington came down and was like, hold up, no one is leaving this program. And this program is supposed to be a step down program to get the inmates adjusted, or should I say readjusted, to go back into prison society among the masses of the convicts. And, you know, so they went looking at everybody record and told them, look, whoever's programming me, you got to get them out of there. And just by chance, I was programming, so I was one of them. They got me out of there. They sent me to Allenwood. I get to Allenwood from Supermax, and when I get there, we get a new warden. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Jake Mendez. I wound up meeting his son later. Jake Mendez was the warden up in Allenwood. He just came from Lum Park. He was the warden for the Unicorn Lum Park Penitentiary, but they sent him over to Allenwood because they transferred, the staff too. You know, so he moved from California to Pennsylvania. He was a cool little Mexican brother, real cool. Now he comes and he's telling everybody, from the first day he came, the first thing he said was, all right, we're going to get the food right. I'm going to get to that I love a dog ass nigga in a minute. Just fall back and let me ride. Remember, please let me ride. Okay. So he comes in, the first thing he do is he asks us how's the food. We told him the food is crap. So he go to the kitchen and say, yo, make the food, presentable so the brothers can have they want. What would y'all like on the menu? So he sent out a survey. We told him we want. He put all the food in the menu. Then after he got that, then he went and he got the commissary right. Now, at this time, they were still selling cigarettes in the compound, but they were selling Black and Milds on the compound also. But they took the Black and Milds off, the little joints I smoke. Y'all know the Black and Milds. They took the Black and Milds off the compound. This is a Black and Mild. They took them off the compound because, of this brown paper. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So Jake Mendez come there, and he goes to get the commissary right to put better food on the commissary. So we see him one day, he walking by, and he pull up on us. And he know we the old convicts on the compound, and we out there, smoking what's that, Captain Black. Captain Black is pipe tobacco. You know what I mean? But then they took the Black and Mild, we went to smoking Captain Black. They said, damn, y'all smoking that? That's supposed to go in a pipe. Said, yeah, they took the Black and Milds off the compound, And he said, what do you mean they took it off the compound? Yeah, I said, they don't sell it in the store no more. So he said, nah, hold up. So he said, come with me. He took us into the commissary. He said, what's your reasoning for taking the Black and Milds off and you still got, Philly blunts and, Swisher Sweets and other cigars that the Italians smoke, but you take off the choice of smoke that the blacks smoke. And they said, oh, listen to this stupidness now. That's why I like to have my props. He told them that this brown paper here that, 'cause we used to we call them champing them. We call it champing it or freaking it. Y'all know what I'm talking about from the hood. That's where you dump all the tobacco out and then you pull the inside paper out. You say that has the cancer on it, and then you dump the tobacco back in it. So he's telling them that we used to dump the tobacco out and pack it with weed, and that's how we were smoking weed. Jake Mendez was so cool and so official, you know what I mean? Little Mexican brother, like I said, wasn't nothing more but about maybe 5'1", and about 120 pounds. But he wore his little three-piece suit and was cool. He said, hold up, so you trying to tell me you took their cigars off because you said that they was smoking weed in it. He said, so what would you like me as the warden to do to prevent them from smoking weed with the Bibles? You know what I mean? So the commissary people look like, huh? He said, yeah, what would you like us to do with the Bibles? He said, what do you mean, warden? He said, should I take the Bible off the compound? Because when I was in Lum Park, they was rolling the weed in the Bible paper because it's thin and it burns slower. So do I take the Bible off the compound so they can't study the word of the Lord because they're rolling marijuana in it? You know what I mean? So he said, the commissary man looked like, So the warden said, look, man, 4 o'clock count. After 4 o'clock, I want Black and Milds on the commissary so that these brothers could order their Black and Milds. If the Black and Milds is not here at 4 o'clock, y'all fired. I don't care if you got to go to the local 7-Eleven, but you're going to get some Black and Milds on this compound for these brothers. After 4 o'clock, they got the Black and Mild. So now we out there smoking. We got a cool warden is how we look at it, which he was cool. So being he was cool, that's when I told him, I said, yo, warden, I just been down since 93 and I got over 50 programs and awards and I got my GEDs and I like to get transferred to a medium security prison. You know what I mean? I was still a high max. They got high max, then they got highs. and then they got medium. Being an ADX, you're a high max. So I was a high max. So he said, okay, well, give me your name and make a look at your paperwork. He looked at my paperwork, he come back, he said, well, you a high max. He said, okay, I'm gonna tell your unit manager to take you off the max and put you on the high. And if your points is right, we'll send you to a medium. So I said, all right, cool, I'm with that. So I go to my case manager, little creep. You know, they're all creeps. All the people that's in charge of you is creeps down there. You know, I mean, I ain't talking about the regular police. I'm talking about like the unit manager, case manager. Y'all know what I'm talking about that been in the prison, because they feel like they the ones that's holding your, you know, your freedom and your case, you know, in their hand. So now we sitting there, and I go to him, I tell him, yo, the warden said for you to take this off, blah, 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 and here's the cop out, he signed it, and, you know, he said, nah, I'm not taking this off. You know what I mean? You're an animal. You don't, you know, stab 2 police. You're a kingpin from the street. You got 5 murders on your case, and you sitting here telling me to make you a less than a maximum security inmate. I said, who are you? The warden told you to do it, cracker. You know what I mean? That's how I talk to him, man. No disrespect, but I just didn't give a crap. You know what I mean? I said, man, come on, cracker. You heard what the warden said. They said, oh no, I don't care what the warden said. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I said, all right, well, you don't do it. You take it up with the warden. So a week later, I see the warden. He stopped me. He said, how's it going? I didn't see your paperwork come across my desk yet. I said, man, case manager said he don't care what you said. He ain't doing nothing. You said you ain't running nothing and you ain't nothing. You know what I mean? And he's in charge of me, and he runs the unit, and you need to just worry about being the warden and worry about up front. He said, what? He said, come with me. He take me right down there to his house. He said, man, take the max off. You know what I mean? Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. And he go take the max off right there with me. You know what I mean? He could have just did that in the first place. So after he take the max off, the warden winks at me and he walks out. Cool dude, like to put him in check, because he didn't like them. He was what we called, you know what I mean, a convict inmate. You know what I mean? A convict inmate, meaning he give the men what they got coming, you know? So he leaves, and when he leaves, the case manager come running up to my cell. His neck is all red and he's pissed off. And he's like, oh, yeah, so you went to the warden over my head. I said, didn't you tell me to go to the warden or whoever? You ain't care what the warden said. I told him exactly what you said, because what you told me to tell him. You know what I mean? He said, well, you wasn't going to tell him that. I said, hold up, man, stop that. I tell him what I want to tell him. You told me to tell him that, and I told him what you told me to tell him. If you wouldn't have told me to tell him, I would have just dealt with it with you. How would you have dealt with it with me? I said, first of all, there'd be teeth everywhere. You know what I mean? There'd be big shout out to teeth everywhere. You know what I mean? Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. You know, like I said, I was real articulate, so I knew how to word my word. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't come out as a threat, but it was definitely a threat. I said, first of all, you know what I mean? It would have been teeth everywhere. You know what I mean? Next snap back, huh? I said, look, man. You know, he said, what you mean by that? I said, look, I'm not going to get no dialogue with you. You took the max off now. The warden said, put me in for a medium. Well, I'm not putting you for a medium. I said, would you like me to tell the warden that too? You know what I mean? He said, I don't care what you tell the warden. You know, he talk all tough in front of us. I don't care what you tell the warden. You know what I mean? So I said, all right. So no, the warden was gone for about 2 weeks. The warden come back. He said, hey, I didn't see your transfer on my desk. I said, yeah, you know, the case manager said, screw you. He's not doing it. He's in charge. You know, I used to rub it in. And I'm laughing when I'm telling the warden. I said, man, he said, screw you. You know what I mean? He said, come on, man. I know he didn't say that. And I said, yo, you know what I mean? You ain't in California no more, man. Right now, they look at you like an immigrant. You know what I mean? Like how they look at me as an immigrant, because this is good old white town here. We in Pennsylvania in the mountains. You know, he said, oh, no. So he walked me down there. He said, no, hold on, man. Put his transfer in right now. So he go do the transfer. 2 days later, he sends the transfer up to him. And then the warden signs off on the transfer, and the transfer comes back, and I go and I tell him I want to see a copy of the transfer. He telling me, no, I'm not allowed to see it. So I said, nah, man, let me go tell the warden I want a copy of this transfer. Because right now the warden, he on our side, the old convict warden. So I go tell the warden, look, man, I'm trying to see the transfer he put in. If you would give me the transfer. So the warden picks up the phone, and he said, yo, tell that dude to come up here. So he come up there. He said, look, man, when that man come to you and tell you that I said to do something, you do it when I tell you to do it. Period. Give him that transfer request you put in. So he gave me the transfer request. I look, and I noticed the man didn't even put down none of my 50, certificates. The same thing the clown did right before I got released in 2020. Because that's what they do. They dog your transfer out to make sure you get denied, but put you in because they have to put you in, but they put it in a way to word it so you can't sell it. That's like you selling, give you a good idea. That's like you selling a BMW. You know what I mean? And you don't put BBS rims on it, you don't put a kit on it, and you don't did all that on it. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you got all this stuff on the car, and you put new stereo in it, You know, you got the interior done. So when you saw the car, you're gonna put in the ad that I put BBS rims on it. I got stereo in it, and I got Gucci interior from the world famous Dapper Dan, and that make people want the car. You don't just say I got a BMW, you know, that I'm selling. You know, that's how they put my transfer in. I got a nigga I'm trying to transfer. That's all he put. He ain't say this nigga done did a bunch of programs. The nigga done got his GED. The nigga couldn't read when he got here. The nigga done took anger management, psych management, you know what I mean, criminal thinking. The nigga did everything he was supposed to do. He don't put none of that in my transfer. He just put I got a nigga I'm trying to transfer in so many words, which is really a red flag for when the region get it to know to deny it. You know what I mean? So when I see it, I look at it and I take it to the warden. I say, warden, look, man, the man ain't put nothing in that I was supposed to get put in it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm laughing at it now because right now I really know that they're not going to send me to no FCI. But I'm just having fun playing with this dude. So now the warden said, oh, man, but he already put it in, but I'm going to make a phone call to the region, see what I can do. I said, all right, warden. So now we go back to the unit. So now he pissed off because the warden been on him. You know what I mean? But now now this where the lover dog ass nigga come in. This is the same clown that I'm telling you. That this is why I don't like them. I love it. Those type of dudes that think that they're in love with a female, you know, y'all gonna take it offensive. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I mean? Those is the ones with female tendencies. They want to be emotionally connected. You know what I mean? When, you know, we just want to be, you know, motivatively connected towards getting the bag. That's what a man is on. So, he's sitting here and he got a girl that he's screwing on a compound that was a CO, but the unit manager, which is higher than him because he was a case manager, the unit manager in another unit pulled her up and made her his secretary. Nice little slim thing, you know what I mean? Nice long, straight blonde hair. You know, he was always fizzy like it was being electrocuted. She didn't even know how to get a doobie. You know what the doobie is, how the Dominicans get their hair done and hook up the black girl's hair so it lay down like silk. Her joint was nothing like that. Her joint looked like she was in the shower when she came out and it dried up and it just wouldn't stick down together. You know what I mean? But, you know, she was a little slim thing. She had a nasty little walk. She ain't had no butter, no breasts or nothing. But, you know, she used to dress real nice in her street clothes, and she came with her high heels, and she'll walk down the compound nice and slow, and you can see her little cheeks jiggling to an extent. You know what I mean? After you've been down, you know, 10 years, 15 years, you know what I mean? You get to see things like this. You know what I mean? So we seen her little cheeks jiggling. So whenever she came, we'll walk behind her just to enjoy the moment to actually see a woman in person with their little cheeks jiggling. Big shout out to the cheeks jiggling. Big shout out. Big shout out. Big shout out. You know what I mean? Big shout out. Big shout out to the cheeks jiggling. So little cheeks jiggling, she walked down and she got the blonde hair blood. She used to walk real slow and take long, deep strides where she walked, the cheek went boop. You know what I mean? Because she taking these long steps. They took another step and went boop. And we behind there, we leaning with her. Boop, 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 boop. And outside, you got about 10, 15 inmates walking with her, whoever's lucky enough to catch her walking down there from the front office to her office. So now she go down there and her boss is this tall white dude, family been in the business for about 100 years since Lewisburg started. But he moved over there to Pennsylvania and he got a lot of pull because his granddaddy and great granddaddy and all of them was, you know, in the BOP as wardens and everything else under the sun. And now they moved him up to be a unit manager. He was about 6'6", you know, a tall, slim dude. He was all right, too. He was real good because he used to bring tobacco to the Boston car. Big shout out to the Boston car. Big shout out. Big shout out. Big shout out to the Boston car. It was a dude from Boston that was real cool that used to run a ticket that got along with him real good. And when he got locked up, the unit manager used to bring him cigarettes and things up there that we wasn't allowed to get. That's how cool the unit manager was. Cool dude. You know what I mean? He could do was in his unit. But he got my case manager's girlfriend as his secretary. You know what I mean? So now, every day when they got lunch or break, he run his little ass over there to the unit trying to keep an eye on her. Like, how you going to stop a female from giving up the box? How are you going to stop a female from if she want to get screwed, she going to get screwed. So I used to see him running over there, and every time I see him running out there, I'm sitting out there smoking my black and mild that he's one of them who's responsible for taking it off. And I say to him straight up, I say, there you go, huh? You know, you just don't even know how to act. You don't need to keep chasing behind her because every time you do that, you make yourself look stupid. If she want to screw him, she going to screw him. Watch your mouth, Hall. Watch your mouth. I said, hold up, my name is Unique. I'll never call you Unique. Your name is Hall. You're just a number. I said, all right, well, whatever. You know, but your girl's still over there choking on, you know, on the unit manager's, you know, shaboing. You know what I mean? He used to get beat red and continue running. So next thing you know, this dude is going over there at 5 o'clock when she get off. She get off at 5 o'clock every day, and he get off at 4 o'clock. So he'll stay the extra, you know what I mean? He'll stay the extra hour just so that he could grab her when it was time for her to leave. You know what I mean? And he go over there. When he go over there, she tell him she doing overtime. You know what I mean? And then the unit manager would tell him, excuse me, we got work to do. You got to leave. And would tell him, leave your girl behind so me and her can do some work. You know what I mean? Now they in the back office, they got the door closed, and they in there screwing up a storm. Screwing, sucking, and doing every god doggone thing freaky under the sun. You know? And the unit manager was so cool and so freaky, and he knew that, you know, he liked to put on a show. You know those exhibitionists? They had a little window. If y'all was in Allenwood, you know the little window by the unit manager office, by the, you know, like unit man, case man. He got a little window about this wide and about this high where it could fit a little plant in it, you know, and they normally put little blinds over it, you know. So he used to put, you know, the blinds down, you know, when he was in there. But after 4 o'clock when the staff left and he knew all of us was hanging out on that front porch by that little window, you know, waiting for chow in between rec because, you know, right now they got fence all around the yard. Back then they didn't have that. So we used to be right up under his thing because that's where he had the little shade to keep the sun off of our backs and our neck. You know what I mean? So we up under there, and he in there got her bent over the desk. He's screwing the crap out this lady, and you got about 10 dudes sitting there looking through the window, watching him screwing her. You know what I mean? This was going on. So you already know how niggas talk. You know what I mean? So everybody went around talking about how dudes sticking a hunk of little cock up in his white girl. So dudes used to tease the unit manager, tell him, man, you sitting here, you got that little ass joint. No wonder, you know what I mean? You know, y'all want to keep us locked up because if she saw what I got, right? You know, because that's what I told the case manager what I don't like. I said to him, I said, look, man, let me tell you like this. You running behind this girl. If you laying down a pipe game like you're supposed to lay it down, if you built like you're supposed to be built, there's no way in hell you have to chase behind her because she's supposed to be chasing behind you to run over to your unit, making sure you ain't screwing nothing. But you done got the game twisted and you running over there chasing her down to try and stop her from doing what she want to do that you ain't got no control of. You know what I mean? If your girl was to see this anaconda I got, she'll think you was hermaphrodite. She would think you was a hermaphrodite if she seen what I got. You understand what I'm saying? She'll know what a real man look like. You know? And I used to talk to him like this, used to get beat red. You need to watch your mouth, Hall. He was a little cocky, dude. You need to watch your mouth. I said, well, you already know what to do. You can swing. You know what I mean? You can swing when you want. You see my jacket. I already handled 2 of y'all. And you're not even, you know, one of the 2 that I handled. You know what I mean? You're too light in the ass for that. So just keep going and you keep chasing your girl. You know what I mean? So now the whole jail talking about how they screwing, you know? So he finds out about it. And he goes out in the parking lot, and he meets the unit manager out there in the parking lot, and they get to fighting over this girl. So they both come to work with black eyes. They beat each other up over this girl, but yet the girl goes to work for him at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she even goes to the officers' mess hall and gets him a steak to put on his eye for the unit manager, but not for her man. And she's living with this dude. You know? And then we find out. You know what I mean? So, you know, all staff members got an inmate they cool with. So it was just like I said, the unit manager was cool with a Boston cat. I'm even going to tell you his name because y'all know him from Boston. You know, big shout out to him because officially wasn't no rat. His name was Malik. You know what I mean? Malik and the unit manager was cool. You know what I mean? And then we had this other dude that was cool with my case manager. And he used to confide in my case manager. My case manager would confide in him, you know, about this girl. You know, so he telling her that, yeah, I can't believe that she doing that to me. You know what I mean? And he even went to confide to tell him that she was an ex-stripper and he's the one that got her the job. She was an ex-stripper out there in Philly. He met her in Philly, moved her in with him in Pennsylvania over there by Allenwood and got her a job. They living together and they going to work and she's schooling somebody at the job. You know what I mean? So now when he tells him that, and my man tells me, you know, so now I got information. You know what I mean? You know, information is key. So dude come walking down the compound, and I said to him, I said, yo, seriously, you know, case manager, you know, no disrespect. I understand the situation going on. I see your face and all that, and, you know, and I'm not going to tease you or nothing like that. I just want you to know that, you know, I'm here for you if you need to talk. You know what I mean? And he said, thank you, Ho. Now he's all humble because he's P-whooped. You know what I mean? He said, thank you, Ho. I said, so, what is the issue? I mean, I heard you met her in Philly. You know what I mean? And he said, yeah, I met her in Philly. She was a stripper. She started working here. You know what I mean? I got her a job here. She lived with me, and I can't believe she's doing this to me. I said, so every night after she's screwing dudes, she come home laying in the bed with you, get up, get dressed, and then come back to work in school to do. And he's like, yeah. I said, why do you tolerate that? Why do you tolerate that? And you know what the man told me? Y'all put in the comments what you think he told me. Y'all put in the comments and give me an emoji what he told me. I know some of y'all gonna get this right. First thing out of his mouth, let's get this right.
Mecca what?
Mecca audio. First thing out of his mouth was, but I love her, dog. You love her? You love a stripper that you took out the club? So you telling me you think you could turn a hoe into a housewife? Not saying that all strippers are hoes. I know some strippers that really went to stripping to get money to go to college. Big shout out to the ones that use the stripping for a stepping stone to get where they gotta go. You understand what I'm saying? He said, yeah, I love her, dog. And he looking all pitiful. This is the same white man that was giving me a hard time. He said, man, I can't believe you doing this to me. And the man cried on my shoulder damn near. You know what I mean? So I looked at him, I said, hold up, man. I said, how could you sit here and say you love a woman you took out the strip club? Before you took her out the strip club, how many other, no disrespect to you, Mr. Case Manager, I don't want to say his name. I said, how many dudes do you think that she was tricking with before you met her? When she said she didn't want to do that and she never wanted to do it, so I gave her an opportunity. You gave her an opportunity? No, you was a come up, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, what you mean? I said, look, man, I own a strip club on the street. I used to be in Miami, and I know girls that was stripping to take care of their babies that wasn't turning tricks. I knew girls that was stripping to pay for their school books. So back then, school books for $300-400, sometimes $800 for one school book, from what I heard. You understand what I'm saying? So they was stripping to do that. You know what I mean? Then you had girls that was stripping, you know what I mean, just to get the paper that would take you in the back room and suck you off, you know what I mean, better than the kids sucking on a bottle. You know what I mean? And that was their thing. So if a girl take you in the back, suck you off, and you know she's sucking other girls off, how could you think that she could love you, dog? How you think she could love you, dog? Talk to me. And he's like, yeah, I know, but, I just love her so much. I said, look, man, you sound real pitiful right now, man. And if you're talking to me like that after, all the problems me and you had, and then you turn around and you go home and you talk to her like that, she's never going to have no respect for you. He said, what? This is how he started. I'm like, nigga, what are you, a frisbee? You know what I mean? Get it out. He said, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? I said, this is what you do, my dog. This is what you do. She a freak. You know she's a freak. You understand what I'm saying? So this is how you handle that. You go and you go get yourself another stripper. You know what I mean? Go back to Philly. Go get another stripper. Or should I say, get another stripper. Not a stripper, a scripper. Get another scripper. You understand what I'm saying? Bring her back to the crib. When she come in, you be there cold boning this other stripper. You understand what I'm saying? And make sure she a baddie. You know what I mean? Because you already told me that your girl was bisexual. So when she come in and she see you with somebody else, then she know that you really don't give a crap about her. And the first thing he said out his mouth again. Come on, put it in the comments. Gunshots. Gunshots for this dude. You know what I mean? First thing out his mouth. You know what I mean? But I love her, dog. I said, dog, she gonna love you even more. You're bringing her something to eat other than you and your little pecker. What do you want? You know what I mean? And he like, yeah, guess what he said to me? He said, you think that'll work, Unique? Now he wants to call me Unique. Before I was hard when he was beefing. Now that he pee-whoop and going through all this with his lover dog ass, he talking about, you think it'll work? You know what I mean? I said, my nigga, it's gonna work, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna work, And it's crazy because he actually went and did it. You know what I mean? And when he brought the girl home, listen to this now. Listen to this. And I'll even give you part 2 if you want part 2. I don't like to go too long. This already 30 minutes. Now, he brings the other girl home. You know what I mean? He there, he boning her. But when the girl come in, he got his face between the legs. So when he got his face between the legs, this was my idea. You know what I mean? I said, make sure when you know that she's getting ready to walk in the room, I don't care if you're boning or what you're doing, doggy style, she riding you or whatever. You know what I mean? You jump out and you go down and you put your face between the legs. And you just start eating her. And then when the girl walks in the room, you turn around and you look at your little girl, you know what I mean? Your first scribble. You know what I mean? You look at your little girl and you say, hey, baby, I bought us dinner. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the dinner. You know, big shout out to the dinner. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the dinner. You know? I mean, he got something better than a Happy Meal for. And could you believe that this dude actually did it? And when his girl came in, she went over, moved him out the way, and went to pleasuring this girl. And then they wound up falling in love, leaving him and get with the other unit manager. So let me tap out because I've been on here long enough, man. You know what I mean? But that's how crazy it was. She wound up leaving him with the scripper that he went to go get, and then they moved in with the unit manager that done took his girl, man. If you want to know what happened to the rest of this, let me know, man. I don't know if y'all ready for this for real. Let me hit the outro, man. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What? Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.